The pepper came off in my hand. The little, I don't know, stalk is really squishy. It looks like it's rotting, maybe. But the pepper itself looks okay, it's just green. So yeah, not as bad as the first one, which was completely moldy, but still, it's not a red pepper. But this one is looking really good. So maybe that will be the one. Maybe I'll still have a red pepper this year. Fingers crossed. It is the 21st of August and I haven't filmed in ages because I've been so busy with work and stuff. But I thought I'd do a quick little update, just getting some stuff for our tea. Firstly, the pepper is doing something. It is finally starting to ripen. There is a little bit of colour on there, which is really exciting. It's the front one, which is smaller, but it's already starting to ripen, and then the back one, which actually looks like a decent sized pepper. I think it's too far back to actually get enough sunlight, like direct sunlight. But I'm actually possibly going to get an edible red pepper soon, which I'm really, really excited about. Second is the courgettes, and they have been performing really well. However, the most kind of productive time was the week I wasn't here. So I haven't got to actually enjoy quite a lot of them, and now they're looking a bit stressed again and they've stopped producing fruits. So I think what we have deduced from that is that they need to be in bigger pots because they don't have enough soil, and they're not getting enough constant watering either. So for next year, I think the plan will be to have courgettes in larger tubs so they have far more soil, and also just be a bit more mindful of the watering situation. Having said that, I am going to be able to harvest a couple for our tea this evening, and I think there are still some new ones coming up on most of them again after some watering yesterday and the day before. So hopefully I haven't come to the end of my courgette harvest just yet, but they could absolutely look healthier. I would really love to be in a position of having too many courgettes like so many people seem to be in, but having courgettes today for dinner is enough for me for now. They're just not putting the energy into growing them, they just go yellow before the flower even opens up. This one has come out, which is nice. so that flower's going to open up tomorrow. But yeah, where the plant is stressed, it's just not putting its energy into creating new fruits, which is really sad. But I do have a couple to harvest today, and there are some more coming out definitely on this one. So the Romanesco seem to be okay. There's courgettes on both of them, so I think I've saved them, hopefully. Now I've taken off those courgettes, you can see a bit clearer what baby courgettes look like before they're pollinated. So they come out with this thick kind of bulge, whereas the male flowers are thin. They have a thin stem, the female flowers have a thick one, and then this flower will get pollinated, and then it will start to actually grow and swell and turn into a courgette. Another lesson learned for next year is that pots probably are not the best option. These guys look really good to start with, but in the really hot weather they just frazzle, and it's really hard to get them the water they need. So this cosmos pot I basically just let go to seed now, and what they do is they make these really cool seed heads, and when they're ready, all the seeds splay out, and then I can just harvest them all, and I will keep them for next year, but I will put them in the ground rather than pots, because they're definitely growing better in the ground than in these pots. But they looked lovely, and we got a few really cool varieties which we've specifically saved seeds from. So we've saved seeds from some really pretty whitish stripy ones to hopefully get more of those next year, and this will just be a random assortment again like this year's was, and hopefully they'll just all look different and interesting and pretty. 27th of August, and this is a pepper update. It has been starting to ripen. On the front one there's another one behind which is a lot bigger, but I don't think it's close enough to the front to get the light to ripen it up. This one is ripening, however I just looked at it and it looks a bit strange, and it's squishy, which makes me feel like it's rotting. And I looked at the bottom and there's a hole in it. I don't know what has made that hole, but I am devastated, because that possibly means this pepper is also not going to be edible. That's a hole all the way through. Oh man. Okay. Well, I think the conclusion of the pepper growing is that it's not really going to be possible in this climate, this part of the country, without any sort of artificial heat and light. The pepper plant itself, has actually, looks really good. There were a lot of buds that came up, but it's just not been hot enough. The plant itself looks really nice, but it just can't sustain its fruit. Ooh. So maybe we won't try those anymore next year.